It's a coalition of women entrepreneurs helping other women entrepreneurs succeed in this crazy thing called venture capital and startup world and businesses because we need innovation.
Hi, this is Unlimited Access. My name is Levi.
Hi, Shannon Aylesworth.
Shannon, you're still in a hotel room.
Episode 2 from Renaissance Residence Inn in Nashville.
A residence inn in Nashville. Okay,
Mhm.
so now Nashville's been a little bit of a second home away from home for you. It- so Project Springboard, you are now going to be participating in that. What is it?
So Springboard Enterprises,
Oh, Springboard.
not Project
No, yeah.
Project Healthcare and Springboard Enterprises. So two
Excuse me.
innovation groups that are really amazing people building community. They build community, and that's really, you are a big fan. You have taught me to appreciate community. And Springboard Enterprises is a community of women entrepreneurs and everything else, addressing venture funding for women-owned businesses. So the general market, and I'll try to get there faster. The VC funding market, women get under 3%. And then with the funding tank, we dropped the most in the last year. Women always end up. And there's a huge push for supporting women founders to get funding and increase the number. Part of that is because the venture capital process is very built in the process of non-females. And there's lots of psychoanalysis and things about how there's certain things that are built to help men versus women, whatever. I shouldn't say whatever. It's very important, but that's not why we're
Very
here.
important. Sure.
What I love about Springboard Enterprise, not only do they support women founders, but they also take very specific paths and they do small groups. They pick companies that are solving big problems, that are in the trajectory of what can make really big change. And then they pick small cohorts and you go after that business together, and they bring their community of advisors together, of entrepreneurs. Think about it. I think they have, like Project Healthcare that we talked about, they have 175 advisors. And so they bring you into this community, they have you present, and you then work with them to get paired with a mentor, and they help you through pretty much everything. Listen, every time I'm on my worst moment of I can't do it, every founder who's done it before goes, "Yep, that happened to me." Every single time, if I can find somebody who says, "Yep, that happened to me, and here's what you do." And there's a reason they say accelerate through your mistakes as a founder. You're going to make a lot of mistakes because you just can't predict it. So it's a coalition of women entrepreneurs helping other women entrepreneurs succeed in this crazy thing called venture capital and startup world and businesses because we need innovation. It's very different from small business. So there's this kind of gap between small business and funding small businesses like yourself and big corporations. How do you help these companies who are really trying to innovate in different markets get through? And Springboard does that, specializes women founders. And then they also have 2 tracks in healthcare. So they have 5 programs, and there's 2 particular programs in healthcare. One is women's health and the other one is digital health. And we were fortunate to get in this year into this cohort, and it's a group of 11 women out of a pretty large application base. Really grateful, really excited about our opportunity.
That's it. Well, you're right. I'm a big fan of community, and think about like your community. And I don't know everybody in your life, right? But you've got friends and family, right? The
Mhm.
close,
Yeah.
tight knit group. And a lot of the times friends and family are there for emotional support, but they're not really there for intellectual support, right? Like, I really don't know what you're doing. And you're my sister or my whoever, right? My aunt. So yeah, sure. I love you, but whatever. And then you've got your community of your coworker, right? The people that work for you. But the truth is you're still the boss, right? And there's this,
Little bots.
it's still the boss. And it's like, there's still that tension, right? It's natural. It's normal. It's not horrible. And
Well,
it seems to me like
we don't live your life.
that's right. Whereas this community, it seems to me like now you're getting into peers, right? This peer group of people
Well,
that,
it's 2 steps further. So my original accelerators, innovation groups, you look at things like Y Combinator and Techstars, they're really big. Those are peers.
okay,
Everybody's doing tech startup. This is women, which experience the startup journey differently than men. The pressures on us are different. The family role might be different. There's the boss, there's the family role is female head of the household and or partner, right? You've got to do it. Your path through the VCs is different. Your experience is different. And then healthcare, right? So that's when they start to break you off. Like I don't see any retail special. Maybe there are specialist retail. In healthcare, there's 50 innovation programs and they're all stack ranked. Who's really going to pick and grab the next company that they're going to push through this system? So yeah, so it's even two more layers in, and it's about I just wrote down who is my community, by the way. And
There
I
you
think what
go.
I'm gonna do, I did. And I was like, I think I'm gonna do my circles of who my community is. Cause I think that's where if you're missing part of your community, that's when you start to just go. Cause I get guys that coach me all day long on how to pitch. And it's totally different than the way I would pitch.
Yeah, and my belief is you should just be you, because if you are who you are in the pitch, then the people that are gonna invest are gonna get their natural Shannon. They're not gonna get Shannon, 3.0.
Yes, but
They're gonna get the real
remember
one.
that but in the investor community, they have just as much as they are, in fact, a laggard community. They want to see who's going to succeed. And if you
It's
look
true.
different or you pitch different, authenticity, the pitch system has been set up where everybody does the same thing. And
It's
so
true.
your authenticity goes outside. And that's where getting into these smaller subgroups of communities where they go, this is the way we want you to pitch because this helps us and you be your most
Mhm.
authentic self, but also this is what this community needs from you. And so it's much more narrow, which makes it really more effective. We grow a lot more. I will say that my personal growth is just light years at this stage.
That's really good, and getting into a community of people that have been there, done that, and have the
Mhm.
same problems live, right? They're going through the exact same things that you're going through at the same time will be just a great resource, if anything. You haven't really started it yet, so you probably don't have a lot of
Right.
expectation, but what's your feeling about it so far? Just, like, even getting the initial email and whatever else is the process, what's it
Oh
been like?
God. It was a call. I
Okay.
cried. Those
Oh,
ladies. I was like, yeah, it felt I cried because I've fought so hard. There's days where you are literally you feel like, and that's what they say, you're lonely, you have your community and you're constantly trying to refine your community and you're like, do people want this? You can see it. You keep going on this sheer belief of what you're doing. And then you have I have this one group of women where they're like, Shannon, don't do comparison. You can't go. Everybody else is getting funded. Everybody's path is different. And there's a reason why inventors and some inventors, and I don't know, there's all the stories about Thomas Edison and those guys, right? You can look at the big stuff. But like even the person who invented the internet was a woman, but that's not who you hear about. You hear about the men who came later. And that's not to do a men versus women. It's just you're going through this fight where you have to believe in your own path and self confidence goes a certain way, but then you start to fall. So when you get phone calls where they're like, listen, it's time, let's go. It's amazing. It's a community that like I really wanted to be a part of for a couple of years. I just think they're fantastic leaders and healthcare and like incredible business owners and incredible financial. Just look at them and you're like, they're powerhouse people that are kind and humble. And so that was exciting. We did do a kickoff call. I got to meet all my peers. There was like 10 of them. And just again, similar to what I said in the Project Healthcare video, which is they've really picked an interesting group for this next stage of women's health. I'm in the women's health group. There was digital health and women's health. For me, this is such the problem that we're dealing with is women have a double whammy problem where they're not only multiple chronic conditions themselves hits women higher, but caregivers, 75% of the women are being pulled down by supporting this MCC community as well. So emotionally, it's a really big thing. So we got to see there's like a CEO, a woman, physician who's only she's opening up. She has a chain. It's a chain. I don't think they call that physician offices. I'll say 10 physician offices who all they do is help. It's called Her Self Help. Love them.
mhm.
They're in Series A helping women 65 and older get better care, manage their care because women, hormones, all that have a different trajectory when it comes to things like cardiovascular disease. The reason cardiovascular disease, women, is I think it's the number one killer of women. And there's all these things that go down that path where for me, it's coordination, not only helping caregivers who are trying to manage that all day long, but then we're also dealing with our own issues more often than not. So there was that. There was, Oh, I can't remember because we just did it last week, but just an amazing group of people. So that was we did kick off the conversation. We kick off with them next week, where we
Yeah.
do a similar process that we're doing with Project Healthcare, which is meet the advisors, meet the community, get paired up with people who can help you particularly move through your process at this time.
Got it. And it's encouraging because you're right. There are times when you're out there in that startup world, maybe not times, maybe it's a lot of the time where you feel alone. And just
Yeah.
that overarching feeling that you're not, no, and I know you're not, right? You definitely have friends, family, your coworkers, and everybody else on the team, but you're pushing a really big vision of a really big challenge into an industry that maybe is standoffish, right? Toward this. So just to be out there,
Tired. They're tired.
they're tired, right?
They're
Yeah.
tired.
And so
They're
it's,
tired. So they're like, "One more thing. How are you gonna make it not one more thing? Convince me it's not one more thing." I do these advisor interviews where they're like, they wanna believe, and then when you get done with your first 10 to 15 minutes, they're like, "Oh, you can do that." And you're like, "Yeah." They're like, "That's really different." Now yeah, it's not my commercial of, "Hey, I'm different." I've thought about this for a very long time and how you do it differently without while the only result is a benefit, there's no downside. That's what I had to do is no downside, only upside. That's what you
mhm.
have to do with the healthcare community if you want them to embrace you. And there's so many people that are just throwing products at them that are big lifts. So it's a net wash, right? It's a net wash to the healthcare community. It might be a gain for the patients, but you're not solving this problem on the overburdened workforce. So you have to really get a net only gain on the healthcare community to really be effective, and those are the conversations that we have, and that's in the community. I didn't say one thing is they both have, like, alumni programs, which is really cool. So most programs, you do your thing, they're literally boom, they try and kick you out. Hopefully, it's deal pipeline is what it is, and a lot of the programs are just looking for deal pipeline that they can push to the VCs, and they get a percentage of your company versus people who are invested in saying, "We, the community, need you. How can we help you integrate?" And to your point, not standoffish, but listen, we are a tight knit community. We need you to listen to what we need and we need help. We have decided that you can help us. Now let's make it so it is a net gain for the community. It's fun.
Well, it's nice to be in a community. It's nice to be wanted. It's nice to be appreciated and seeing value. And
Yeah.
and you know what? I've seen it all along, and I think it's really encouraging. I'm glad you're like to branch out bigger. And Ursula just again at the very beginning stages, and I know it's like just that growth is really hard. And
I feel like
yeah,
it's like this. I was drawing another line. I was like, it's up, down, up, down. So you're like up, down, up, down. And if you can like right, that's what you're doing. You're basically this is the beginning of your journey. And as you move, it gets smaller and smaller, and then you get pulled through. So yeah, it's interesting. I'm excited about the springboard one. Just when I presented to them, they just the appreciation for the problem that I didn't see 2 years ago from a lot of people, not from them in particular, but like you say, you've always believed. We all believed. I talked to a whole bunch of people before I went down this path to say, do enough people believe that this is a problem? Because otherwise, what you do at that point is you just adjust your life and you just go, this is the way my life is going to be. So I'm gonna go, right? We all want to be contributors. We all want to get up feeling good about ourselves in the morning. And you're like, listen, if nobody else believes this is a problem, then okay, then that's on me. I'll go sell more Wi-Fi or I'll
oh
go
no,
do
don't do
something
that.
else. I'll do or I'll make my small impact. Look at I'm a caregiver. I'm a paid caregiver. I do caregiving for other families when not in a way that like most people do, but I pinch it for caregiving because I'm like, that's the way I can give back. So you just pivot and decide how you can be a contributor to society. And if enough people didn't say it at that point, I wouldn't be here today. So to see the growth in the industry and see what Springboard is doing to further all of these. So even 2 years ago, when they first talked to me about women's health, it was very much like lady parts. I hate to say that, but it was like
Yeah,
women's health.
yeah.
2 years later, if you look at what they include in women's health, it's everything. And it's on their website. And their panel of advisors is like 30 women and it includes technology and like I was like, I'm not specific to women. And they go, no, caregivers and women. And we're also like, they've expanded their circle of what that means. And that is so exciting to see. It's so exciting
I'm
from where we
really
started.
encouraged for it. I think we could leave it there, and that's a good place to wrap. You excited, and that's a good thing. You know what? Thank you so much for
Well, interview me
listening.
after next week.
Yeah,
Interview
yeah.
me after next week. Do all
I'll
the
inter
kickoff and because right now we're right in the middle of the Nashville game, Nashville.
and this is, you know what? And a little inside ball to the production of the show. This is pretty easy to record this way. We have a studio, right? And where we go into the office and all that kind of stuff, but I
I
don't
love
know.
this. Now that we have this, we don't need the office, right? You always wanted
Maybe.
something more interesting, but
We'll get a
we had
studio
big
with
visions for visions for the office, remember that?
that's right.
We were gonna clean I got paint down there
There's
that never
paint sitting
happened.
there. Yeah, no. That's
We
all
had
right.
lights everywhere.
We still have the
Now we're
lights. We still
back.
have the lights. But yeah, good. We have some plants in there. Yeah, we gotta go there and take care of. Yeah, so good. But you know what? It's really good seeing you. Enjoy Nashville. If you come back with a
Thank
cowboy
you.
hat, I'll respect it.
I know, right? I have a cowboy hat anyway. Everybody knows that about me. All of my friends, even my old tech
Oh,
world,
that's
my
right.
network one, they're like,
You wear
when I pulled
you
up
ride
in a Ford,
horses. Yeah, what am I thinking?
I'm like, it's even back when I worked at Cisco and I didn't know how obvious it was that I was probably going to be a cowboy. It was my secret life that I was going to end up being as a cowgirl, but I got a Forerunner and it was like a trail off road, whatever. And people work would be like, that's so you, Shannon. I'm like, really? Yeah, Nashville is probably where I should have been, but yeah, I do have to go home. I'm sad, but I will get to come back and see my friends. So
All right.
thank you.
Well,
As always, for those of you who are listening,
thank
Shannon,
you so much.
Levi,
You
thanks.
all take care. Bye.